such an immersive world now. I think with the technology and the types of actors they brought in, it feels like you're part of Infernal Affairs in a weird sort of way.
Now, was it hard voice acting instead of like being on camera, because it's not as physical and interact with other people? Did you find that a hard hurdle, Edison, to just be a voice actor instead of on camera with other people and stuff like that?
I think working with this helmet on my head was a little rough.
Is that a helmet?
We had this helmet that was like mapping our facial expressions. I don't know. I think that doing it in English was really good for me because it's my first language, and I did some dubbing for like some cats and dogs movies and some animation movies, and like I guess that gave me a good warm up for this. It was good when I came in because everyone had already been working on the game for a little while, and I kind of had like a basis to work off of. And just to kind of formulate my character, I kind of took the things that they didn't that he hadn't put in his character to kind of give it like that alter kind of sidekick, that like a more lighthearted, more funny, more kind of goofy kind of dude, because he's like stone cold like killer in the game. So I didn't want the somber, I wanted the mood to kind of have the ups and downs. So I think that we worked really good together.
That's cool. Do you have any favorite lines from the game that you can remember?
And it was funny because when I was doing the dubbing for the Chinese people in here, actually, I was doing half the dubbing in Chinese, and they didn't understand anything I was saying, and they're just like, "Good, that sounds good." So I hope it's good. Yeah, they're like, "Good, it was Chinese." I was like, "Oh, great, this is easy."
A few times when we had translators come in because we needed to subtitle all this dialogue, and the translators would come to my desk, or Justin's desk, Steven's desk, and say, "This is what Edison said. Do you realize how many curses he just strung together?"
They told me to. They said that was what we needed.
The North American Ratings Board has no idea anyway, so swear all you want.
I think there's just for those of you that don't know, I mean, like making a game and specifically the story in the game, it's a very different process to making a movie. You're on a sound set, and like as Edison said, that you actually have this big helmet on your head, and what that's doing is it's tracking your facial, because your face, like how your face moves and stuff, so that the character actually gets facial animation in the game, and so we map those to bones inside of the skeleton, like in the game. But more than that, it's incredibly difficult because oftentimes it's people in isolation, and scenes really work. Like as you guys know, actors need to play off of each other. So a lot of what we experimented with, like this time around, like in the game, was actually getting like all the people on set like at the same time, so that they could actually play off each other and feel like where the scene was going. And I think we got excellent performances from doing that. So storytelling in games, obviously it's not nearly as advanced as storytelling in movies, but with the rising technology, I think it's slowly getting there, and I think these guys did a great job to really make this awesome.
Now, there's a lot of your interviews, you guys talk about like researching this game, going to Hong Kong, visiting Triad members, and you have a lot of stories for that. I mean, do any of you have any stories in terms of your research? Or, I mean, there's this famous one that everyone knows about now, about the guy that was hacked, something like that. Chopped. Do you want to add to that? Do you have any other stories? Will and Edison, do you have any stories like that, or?
Hacking people.
Not personally. I mean,
Hack anyone?
I've seen things, but not first person. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Steven and myself and a few other guys from the team had gone on a trip to Hong Kong. One of the things we wanted to do in the game was be as authentic as possible, really get the feel of the city. And our tour guide, who's a local, was taking us around talking about this radio personality who had knocked off to a triad boss, or about a triad boss, and how this guy was basically chopped up by the triads, but left alive as sort of a sign, don't mess with us. And so we heard the story, we were like, okay, sounds kind of unbelievable. And then sure enough, as we're driving along, our host goes, oh, there he is! And there's this guy hobbling along the sidewalk years later after the attack, but pretty messed up. So these guys, they mean business over there, and it was eye-opening for sure.
That's why we're over here.
You guys have any stories about that?
I just know that like what they're talking about. That guy actually walked into the radio station and hacked them. Like it wasn't just like they found him somewhere. They just went into the radio station and just did what they needed to do. But there is one thing about Hong Kong that's safer, is that they use knives, they don't use guns, right?
I don't know, I think I might rather be shot. You know,
But in Sleeping Dogs, there are guns.
yes, there are guns.
And Sleeping Dogs comes out August 14th, so just saying.
August 14th, everywhere. I'm not sure if you heard that. Yeah, there's a lot of guns. I mean, in the story, the way it works is, you know, Will and Edison's characters start really working their way up from the ground level, and they start fighting, you know, with the hands, and then it sort of moves to knives and cleavers and pipes, and then it sort of works its way up to guns. And I think at the end of it, Will's got, you know, a grenade launcher or something like that. So it's,
Do you have a grenade launcher?
No, I don't personally have a grenade launcher, but, you know, but the one happy aspect of the game that I thought was interesting, because I can't sing, was that it seems like there's a sport karaoke feature in the game.
yes.
So I think American audiences will see how crazy Asians are with karaoke.